During the production of my main task and two ancillary tasks, my aim was to use, develop and challenge codes and conventions of existing media products in order to conform in one aspect but also to stand out against competitors. In some aspects, it was beneficial that we conformed to certain conventions such as the use of celebrity endorsement. According to the uses and gratification theory, which is about the consumer's cultural setting and needs, people consume media for one of the following reasons: surveillance, personal relationships, personal identity, diversion. In this instance, my magazine conforms to the concept of people consuming media for their personal identity. Due to celebrity endorsement used on both the front cover as well as the article used in the double-page spread, it enables people to reinforce their personal values as they look up to their respected role model. Despite my magazine conforming in this aspect, I was able to develop this typical convention by making the celebrity a female. From my initial research into sports magazines such as Forever Sports, I gained an understanding that the main image was usually a man, as they are stereotypically seen to enjoy sport more. However, I have used a countertype of this, challenging the dominant ideology that women don't want to play sport. As well as this, it also creates a niche market, as there isn't many magazines on the market for my target audience to consume. During the research and planning of my main task, I was able to identify that sports magazines are typically targeted towards teenage males. With that in mind, I decided to make sure that my media product was accessible to this audience, but also expanding on it by primarily focusing on women. Despite my main target audience being women, I still wanted elements of the magazine to appeal to my secondary audience, which is primarily male. I was able to do this by making the color scheme red, black and white, which is stereotypically gender neutral. In terms of layout, my magazine cover conformed in the sense that I included the typical things you expect to see, such as a barcode, masthead and promotional panel. However, I decided to move the masthead so it went down the side, as this adds more interest to my magazine. After all, according to Steve Neal, the success of a media product relies on both repetition and unique elements. In this instance, I have added unique qualities such as layout and the use of females, as well as adding typical elements and conventions to my magazine cover so it is established to be in the sports magazine genre. This concept also supports Daniel Chandler's theory in that in order to be recognized to be a certain genre, then it must include certain elements, which I have been able to achieve. In terms of my website, I have conformed by adding social media links. After all, it is essential that the consumer and producer are able to connect in some way. According to David Gauntlet, consumers are no longer passive, they are active. This allows my target audience to communicate with one another, creating a community. Additionally, it is also a form of free advertisement, allowing my product to reach more people than just relying on the billboard. These adverts are often seen on sites such as Facebook and Instagram, as this is actively used by the target audience, or 16 to 24-year-olds. To conclude, my media product changes and develops typical conventions of existing media products whilst also conforming to traditional values in some aspect in order to appeal to the target audience.